billing besties. Good morning. It's your girl Evie. Hey girl, hey or hey boy, hey. I'm not gonna call you guys honey buns anymore because you guys are my billing besties. Hey. So when I do these billing videos, you guys are my billing besties. You guys are my billing besties. Hey girl. So today, as you guys could tell by the title, we are going to go over how to properly bill a secondary claim. I have a claim in the EOB pulled up, so I was like, you know what? Let me do a quick video on how to properly bill a secondary claim. So if you are not subscribed, make sure to click that button down below to be subscribed. Give this video a big thumbs up and click that like button, girl. Okay, and click the post notification bell so you'll be notified when I post these billing videos. And I also have a playlist of all of the billing videos that I've made so far, so you guys can check that playlist. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So I have an EOB pulled up. If you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm actually working this secondary claim. So with secondary claims, once you bill your primary, the only time you'll bill a secondary is if the patient has second insurance. If the patient only has one insurance, you don't have to worry about billing a secondary. Now, if the patient has 3 insurances, you'll bill the primary first, secondary, and then a tertiary. I rarely get claims where I have to bill a tertiary, which is the 3rd insurance, but I do get a lot of secondary claims. So first things first, whatever system that you're using, I have used so many different systems. So this system I'm using right now is Waystar. There's another name for Waystar. I just don't remember it. I can't remember it, but there's another name that they use for Waystar. If I can remember it, I'll just pop it up across the screen, but if not, it's fine. So the system that I use is Waystar. So pretty much you're gonna go into your system, right? And you're gonna go pull up your EOB from your primary insurance. Now, when you are billing secondary, it is very important that you have your EOB pulled up because that's where you're going to be able to get all of the information to plug it into your claim to be able to send the secondary claim out. So you want to make sure you have your EOB pulled up. Now, if you don't have your EOB, you can call the insurance and ask them, you know, hey, was the claim processed and paid? What is that? It's like a little thing flying. Okay, so sorry about that. What you want to do, if you don't have an EOB, you want to contact the insurance to make sure that they did process the claim and that the claim has been paid out. And if it has been processed and paid out, you'll just let them know that you don't have an EOB on file, and they can either fax an EOB to you or email it to you. But yeah, so in this case, we don't have to worry about that. We have our EOB pulled up or whatnot. And also, if you don't have the EOB in your system, what you can do, you can go to the provider portal. Like Validity has a lot of providers on there. Like for example, let me read some of the providers because I do have Validity pulled up. So there's Aetna, Ambetter, Humana WellCare, Allegiance, Blue Cross, Braven, Devoted, Horizon, so on and so forth. So there's a whole bunch of insurances on Availity. So if you don't have the EOB, you can always go on the provider portal, United Healthcare, Cigna, all of that stuff. So now that we have our EOB pulled up, I am going to put the EOB and the claim side by side so I can go ahead and plug in my information in. Of course, I'm not able to show you guys because of HIPAA, so I cannot show you guys my screen. So I'll just walk you guys kind of through what I'm actually doing. So, okay, I have my EOB pulled up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my claim for the secondary. So I'm gonna go right here. Okay, so I have my EOB and my claim pulled up right next to each other. So first things first that I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the COB tab, which is the coverage of benefits. The coverage of benefits is everything that the primary insurance processed on the claim. So the first thing is going to show the payer, which is Aetna Medicare. That's the primary payer. Then the adjudication date. The adjudication date is when Aetna Medicare, which is the primary insurance, paid the claim out. So here it says 4/3, but actually today is 4/2. So what I'm going to do is just back it out and put it to 3/29. So 3/29. And then the payer paid amount is the next section that comes up. So what you're gonna do, go to your EOB and right at the bottom, it's gonna say provider paid. PROV paid is what Aetna Medicare paid on the claim. So they paid $374.42. So that's already plugged into here. Hold on one second because I don't know what it just did to me. Okay, so once we put the payer paid amount, we're gonna go to the remaining patient liability amount. That means whatever patient responsibility that they have, that's where you put that number in. Now you're gonna go to your EOB and you're going to check to see if there's anything under the deductible, if there's anything under the coinsurance, and if there's anything under the copay. Sometimes patient might not even have deductible or co-insurance, but then it will have a copay, or won't have a copay but have deductible and co-insurance. So it all depends. You just have to make sure that you are reading your EOBs correctly to figure out what the remaining patient liability amount is. So with this claim right here, patient does have a responsibility, which is $100, and that is their copay. Now, if patient doesn't have any responsibility whatsoever, you don't bill a secondary, because what's the point of billing the secondary when the patient doesn't have a responsibility? You only bill a secondary if the patient has responsibility left after the primary has paid. If there's no patient responsibility, there's no need to bill the secondary because there's nothing to be paid. So with this one, the patient has a $100 copay. So we're gonna go ahead and enter $100 right here. And I checked on the deductible and coinsurance. There's no deductible, no coinsurance. Okay, so now we're gonna go down to the adjustment groups. The adjustment groups is the contractual that the insurance gave the provider, which is kind of like the discount. So with this adjustment group, there is the contractual obligations, and with that, how you're going to find the contractual, you're going to take the RC amount, and then you're going to subtract it from the copay. You only subtract the RC amount from the copay. You don't ever subtract it from the deductible or the coinsurance, only from the copay. So with this, RC amount is $4,151.58 minus 100, which is $4,051.58. So we're gonna put that in right here, 4051.58. And then tab, and then we're gonna put 45 because that's the reason code. You always want to make sure that you match up your reason codes. And your units is always going to be 1. So my next adjustment group is patient responsibility, which is the $100 for the copay. So I'm gonna put $100. And then I'm going to put the reason code is reason 3. For copay, it's always 3, coinsurance is 2, deductible is 1. So we're gonna put 3, tab over to the units, and it's 1. So we only have 2 adjustment groups, which is the patient responsibility and the contractual obligation. So now we're gonna go over to the provider side, and I'm going to double check to make sure that my NPI matches. Okay, so this one, yep, that one matches. You guys don't have to do that. This is just something that my job has us doing. So, okay, and I'm gonna go to the service line and delete all of the COB that's on every line item, because with Waystar, they don't like it to go that out with all of the line items with the COB information, so I'm just deleting that out. Now, for example, with my old job, when I built secondaries, I didn't have to do all of that stuff because our system didn't require us to. I used the Optum with my last job. So billing secondaries, all I had to do was just make sure that the claim balanced itself out and patient responsibility was good, adjudication, and everything else that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, so the total charges for this claim is $4,526, and it does balance itself out. So this claim should be good to go. Okay guys, I have no idea what's going on with Waystar. Like, it is bugging out. Like, it's not even like submitting the claims, it's just sitting there in the queue. So I'm not able to show you guys that it's accepted, so I'm just gonna move on to the next one. But before I close this one out, I just remembered, when you are billing secondary claims, like let's say for example an adjustment was made, like let's say for example the first secondary claim that went out was for $10,000, right? And then let's say they made a mistake and they forgot to add a charge. So let's say the charge was like $3,000 extra. So now the claim is at $13,000. And secondary already processed and adjudicated the first claim for $10,000. So what you're going to do, you're going to have to do an adjustment claim. So that claim is going to go out as a 137. And what you're going to do, you're still going to follow the same process, but the only thing you're going to add is the claim number from the prior claim. So you're going to add the claim number from the first claim that was sent out, because there's always a claim number in every single claim that you send out. There's a claim number. So you're going to add the claim number from the claim $10,000, and then you're going to put it on the claim with $13,000, and then you're going to send that as a 137, so the insurance will know this is an adjustment claim, because when they see that 137, they'll be like, oh, okay, it's an adjustment claim. Now this is for hospital billing. As far as providers, I'm not sure what that code would be, but for hospitals, it's a 137 adjustment claim. So I just wanted to throw that in. So whenever you have to bill an adjustment claim for a secondary, you're just going to add the original claim number from the primary, not from the primary, I'm sorry. You're going to add the original claim number from the first claim that was sent out. You're going to put it as a 137, and you're going to follow the same steps that you followed for the primary. Okay, so with that being said, that is everything in how to properly bill a secondary claim. I know I did talk about secondaries in a prior video, but I don't think I went like step by step as how to properly build a secondary, but that's how you properly build a secondary claim. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, billing besties. Bye.